Stay ready. While the world rests in its usual slumber on June 3rd, something subtle but powerful is already moving beneath the surface. A shift begins before the sun rises, and only those truly tuned in will step through the door before it fades. Not every day comes with a choice. June 3rd isn't just another date. It's a signal. It's deliberate. It's loud in ways silence can't hide. And missing it, that's not something you want to risk. This isn't a day for the masses. It passes quietly, but only because it speaks in frequencies few can hear. The first quarter moon isn't just a phase, it's a threshold, a crossroads, a divine redirection. It has already marked this day for change, and ready or not, you're being moved. Paths you thought were solid may tremble. Choices you were sure of may start to unravel. And the strangest part, everyone will feel it, but only a few will know what it means. Oh, and if your mind's been oddly busy at night lately, not anxious, just active, you might be feeling this shift more than you realize. If you want, drop 2 or 2 along with your experience to align with the recalibration happening, and be prepared, because this day might just show up again soon, but not in the way you expect. There's a specific reason behind this echo, and you must be aware of it. I'll reveal it shortly, so stay with me. But first, if you've been feeling strangely pulled away from people lately, like something is separating you on purpose, you need to hear this next part. You're being separated. But it's not what you think. You didn't just lose touch. You didn't just cancel plans. You didn't just need a break. You were pulled. And that space you're in right now, that isolation, it's not an accident. This moon is subtle, but it's not soft. What it's doing is precise. It's pulling certain people out of the noise into a temporary disconnect, not to punish, but to prepare. If you feel like you're drifting alone right now, if everything suddenly went quiet, emotionally, socially, even energetically, that might be because you're being tuned for something no one else is hearing yet. It's not loneliness. It's alignment. Some of you are being repositioned for something big. You're being emptied so something rare can enter. And this moon, this seemingly irrelevant phase, is the trigger. This could be the moment where everything changes, not out loud, but underneath. And here's the strange part. No one's talking about this. This isolation might not even be coming from you. There's something, or someone, pulling back first, and you're just now feeling the ripple. Wait until you hear what that actually means. You're being watched, but not how you think. There's something about this moon that doesn't speak in words. It senses. Like an unseen lens has opened in the background of your life, quietly scanning, not for flaws, but for truth. And the strange part is, it's not looking at you. It's looking through you. The first quarter moon isn't just a moment in the sky. It's a signal, a pulse. It opens what some call the unseen eye, not in a physical or mystical way, but energetically. It's as if your higher self has stepped out from behind the curtain and is finally examining the choices you've been making, with no filters, no excuses, no distractions. Something in you knows more than it's saying, and right now it's watching to see if you'll catch up. During this phase, the rules bend in subtle ways. You might notice repeated words in conversations that feel oddly placed. People may say things that unlock memories or symbols. Even dreams might feel clearer, more structured, almost designed. These are not coincidences. This is the world showing itself to you, but only if you're actually seeing. It's like reality is gently testing your awareness. Are you awake enough to notice how the game board has shifted? Have you felt it? That soft rearrangement, like your life is trying to line itself up more precisely without alarming you. This isn't paranoia. This isn't delusion. This is the quiet genius of the universe letting you know your alignment has been noticed. But here's the real question. What does this eye want from you now that it's open? That is where things get interesting. You're standing in the hallway right before it opens. June 3rd is not a day of conclusions. It's a day of almost. You'll feel it the moment you wake up, like something is near but not quite here. The solution is close but not fully visible. The feeling of yes, but with a silent not yet. This isn't hesitation, it's spiritual compression. Sometimes the soul has to shrink before it can break through. The first quarter moon acts like a cosmic pressure valve. It doesn't ask you to leap, it asks you to brace. You're in the zone between inhale and exhale, between the decision and the consequence, between being who you were and becoming what's next. Don't mistake this limbo for failure, that restless, itchy feeling of not knowing what to do next. That's the atmosphere before revelation. And what's more interesting is how everything around you on this day will mirror it. Conversations that feel incomplete, projects that stall at 80%, ideas that sound right but don't land. Nothing is broken. It's almost perfect. This moon is watching how you hold the in-between, because the real shift comes only when you can sit in the tension without trying to escape it. And just when you think you're stuck in a loop, something breaks. And not gently. You're not just protected, you're hidden in plain sight. There's a common warning in spiritual circles. Guard your energy. Watch out for the drainers, the emotional leashes, the conversations that leave you hollow. But June 3rd doesn't work like that. This moon flips the script. If you're aligned, even just slightly, those draining forces, they won't even see you. It's not because you're putting up shields or consciously cutting cords. It's much quieter, more elegant than that. The first quarter moon wraps those who are stepping into their authentic frequency in a kind of energetic invisibility. You don't become smaller. You become untouchable. You're not rejecting anything. You're just resonating so purely that anything out of alignment bounces off, like light reflecting off a surface. It can't enter. True peace isn't loud. It's unreachable to what doesn't match it. You might feel oddly calm on this day, like you should be more anxious or more reactive, but you're just not. Don't brush it off. That quiet, grounded center you're starting to sit in isn't random. It's not luck. It's energetic recalibration, and your system knows. People who normally test you might not call. That one person who always drains your joy might seem distracted, uninterested, almost like they forgot you exist. That's not rejection. That's protection. Because the energy you're starting to emit doesn't feed them. It confuses them. They can't latch on because they can't even recognize you. It's as if this moon placed a veil around your frequency and whispered, "Only what honors you can pass through." And here's the real key. This isn't a temporary spell. If you maintain this alignment, if you stay honest in your energy, you won't need to defend yourself anymore. You'll simply be unreachable to what once found you vulnerable. The moon isn't just watching who you're becoming, it's rewarding you for it. But now that you've become less visible to the wrong ones, what's starting to notice you instead? You're not remembering something new, you're remembering something ancient. Something very subtle is happening with this moon, and unless you're still enough to feel it, you'll miss it entirely. This isn't about you meeting someone new. This is about you remembering something old, a forgotten pact, a soul-level contract you agreed to long before you had a name. June 3rd marks the moment where spiritual alliances aren't just formed, they're activated. And no, this isn't about guides or angels whispering from above. This is deeper, stranger, more internal. It's not that you're receiving guidance. It's that you're stepping into the role of the guide. You are becoming what you once looked for. Some forces don't find you because they're waiting for you to become them. That strange familiarity you feel today, like you're on the edge of remembering something just out of reach. That's the memory of your own spiritual role rising to the surface. Not a fantasy, not imagination. A role you paused the moment you were born, and now it's asking to be worn again. That's why this moon doesn't feel loud. That's why the silence feels thick. Because it's not giving you new instructions. It's helping you hear the ones you've already been carrying beneath all the noise. This is also why certain paths you once resonated with may suddenly feel off. The books, the teachers, even the practices, they may start to feel too small. Don't panic. That's not spiritual confusion. That's upgrading. Because the version of you that's emerging doesn't need external validation. It needs internal memory. This moon marks a realignment, not between people, but between you and something cosmic that has been orbiting your life silently for years. A frequency that only reveals itself when you stop chasing and start remembering. Your guide is not coming. Your guide is awakening from inside you. You may not know how to explain this to others, and that's okay. You're not meant to translate it right now. You're meant to feel it, to hold it, to become it. But be warned, once this alliance locks in, you won't be allowed to play small anymore. This isn't just a day, it's a spiritual prototype. Tomorrow, June 3rd, will imprint itself onto you in ways you won't even notice at first. Not because something obvious happens, but because something subtle gets written into the fabric of your life, something that will return, but not how you remember it. What unfolds tomorrow is a spiritual template, a kind of energetic draft. And like all templates, it won't stay visible for long. It folds itself into your interactions, into fleeting conversations, tiny decisions, glances, places you pass through without thinking. But then, weeks from now, around the next full moon, something will shift, and you'll freeze in place and say, wait, this already happened. This isn't déjà vu. This is the moon embedding a timestamp, a sacred echo. Spiritual echoes don't repeat the past. They refine it. Think of June 3rd like a rehearsal, but not for a show you know is coming. This rehearsal is for something you haven't even been told you're part of yet. You're going to meet someone, or notice someone, on this day, and it won't feel significant. You might scroll past a post, glimpse a name, hear something in passing, but it plants itself, and then later it returns, not in memory, but in form. The stranger becomes the connection, the idea becomes the path, the background moment becomes the centerpiece. You'll ask yourself, how did you not even realize this started back then? June 3rd is quiet now, but it's only acting small. Its real shape will bloom later, and it will look completely different. But you'll feel the trace, like a dream that suddenly comes true years later, and you can't explain how you knew. So pay attention. Take mental snapshots. Don't rush through anything, even if it feels mundane, because you're not just experiencing this day, you're writing it into your future. But here's what they don't tell you. Sometimes, by the time you realize a moment was pivotal, you're already late for the next one. You weren't unprepared. You were on a different clock. There's a strange sensation rippling through June 3rd, and it's not fear, but something even harder to place. A silent urgency, like you're about to miss something you don't even know is scheduled. And no matter how grounded you try to feel, there's this background hum, this odd pressure that keeps whispering you're supposed to be somewhere else. This isn't in your mind. This is the arrival lag. You're not off track. You're just syncing with a timeline that hasn't caught up to you yet. The first quarter moon is acting like an invisible whistle, calling people to attention not for a crisis, but for a beginning they won't recognize at first. And here's the twist. Some of you will step into that beginning late, and it won't matter, because what you missed is waiting for you to remember it. Divine timing doesn't move forward, it moves toward you. Right now there are forces unfolding on your behalf that you can't see yet. They're slightly ahead of you, like a train that's left the station early but hasn't picked up full speed. You're running to catch it, but you don't know which platform it left from. That's why the air feels charged. That's why you might feel rushed without knowing why. It's not anxiety, it's spiritual anticipation, a future event that's already sensing your arrival. And for some of you, the sync will click all at once. Maybe it's a conversation, a dream, a missed call, a chance that suddenly makes everything line up. Watch for this feeling. being at the right place at the wrong time, or the wrong place at the right time. Those aren't mistakes, those are clues. The moon is moving puzzle pieces without telling you what it's building yet. And this is why so many feel like they're too early or too late right now, because this isn't about showing up on time, it's about becoming the person that time is waiting for. But what happens once time does catch up with you and something recognizes you back? That's when the real activation begins. You're not meant to be unconscious while this shift takes place. Over the next night, and especially as June 3rd crests, you might find that sleep doesn't come easy, but this isn't typical restlessness. It's not the usual tossing and turning because of racing thoughts or daily stress. This is something else. This is the summons. The first quarter moon is stirring the body, not like a storm, but like a tide pulling beneath the surface. Quiet, invisible, yet relentless. Some of you have already felt it. The past few nights your eyes have popped open at strange hours for no reason. Thoughts firing, not in panic, but like a puzzle trying to finish itself. Something is moving in you, and no amount of melatonin can lull it back to sleep. You're not being kept awake, you're being kept aware. When we talk about the moon's influence, we often think about its pull on oceans and emotions. But tonight, this time, it's pulling something deeper. Not your feelings, your frequency. This wave of energy insomnia is hitting the most attuned among you first. Not because you're unstable, but because you're ready to receive. The body resists sleep when a message is arriving. This isn't a dream you're being asked to enter. It's a download you're meant to stay conscious for. The moon is acting like a beacon, and those sensitive to it are like receivers left on overnight. You may get visions, flashes of insight, a sudden impulse to write, rearrange, or sit in silence with no explanation. Follow it. Don't dismiss it. This isn't the night to override your instincts with routine. For others, the signs will be stranger. Pets might act off. Lights flicker. These are not paranormal disturbances. These are environmental confirmations. The air is charged differently tonight because the moon is waking up more than just your mind. This isn't just about being awake. It's about being aligned in the exact moment something begins transmitting. So if sleep doesn't come, don't fight it. You're not broken. You're not off rhythm. You're right on time for something your soul already signed up for. Tonight, your body knows what your schedule doesn't. You have an appointment with the unknown. You've been repeating something, and the moon just hit the emergency stop. First quarter moons always cut. That's their job. They are the blades that divide what's growing from what's lingering. But this one, June 3rd, is surgical. It's not slashing wildly. It's targeting something precise, something you didn't even know you were still looping through. This is the kind of moon that steps into your subconscious like a surgeon with steady hands. It doesn't ask permission. It doesn't explain itself. It simply removes. You won't notice what left. You'll just notice what stops pulling you back. Maybe it's a craving that suddenly disappears, not through effort but absence. You wake up and realize, I don't want that anymore. Maybe it's a habit that skips itself. You forget to do it, and strangely, you don't care. Maybe it's a person, a dynamic, a story you've kept repeating without even knowing, and suddenly it's like the urge just lost its grip. No grief, no drama, just disconnection. This isn't apathy. This is precision detachment. The moon didn't ask your mind to make a decision. It went straight to the source, your energetic loop, and unplugged it. And because the removal wasn't logical, your mind won't chase closure. That's the beauty of it. Some things end best when they're not mourned, but neutralized. And that's what's happening now. Don't be surprised if people around you act like something's missing but can't name it. That's the collective adjusting to this cut. We're being edited, and we won't even see the red ink until we look back weeks from now and realize that never came back. This moon's gift isn't an emotional high. It's an emptiness that doesn't ache, a clean slate where something used to echo. You're being given space, not to fill it right away, but to realize what life feels like without that weight. And only once that silence settles will you begin to hear your next instructions. Some patterns don't end when we fight them. They end when the moon decides it's time. No one's going to tell you it's happening, and that's how you'll know it's real. There's a type of awakening that doesn't trend, doesn't go viral, doesn't scream for attention. It's not marked by angel numbers or dramatic visions. It doesn't ask for witnesses. It just happens, quietly, surgically, and often alone. This is what June 3rd is about. This moon doesn't shout. It severs. It doesn't open a floodgate. It opens a single, narrow door just for you. And if you're not still enough, if you're not quiet enough, you might miss it. The loudest awakenings don't come with thunder. They come with silence so complete you realize the noise was never real to begin with. On this night, you might feel pulled inward. Even surrounded by others, you'll feel like you've been wrapped in a kind of energetic soundproofing, not loneliness, containment. The moon is cutting everyone into their own sacred echo chambers, not to isolate you, but to tune you. When the noise of the world falls away, that's when the frequency of your actual path can be heard. And it won't sound like a mission. It won't be some grand epiphany. It'll feel like a breath of clarity that touches you for just a moment, maybe 30 seconds, and then gone. Almost too fast to register. But you'll know, because for that single moment, the questions stopped, the doubts paused, the chaos stilled. And for the first time in a long time, you weren't waiting for anything anymore. This isn't something you announce. You don't call a friend and say, "I think I awakened." You don't post about it. You sit with it, because it's too sacred to explain. You didn't get a sign from the sky. You became the sign. You won't be congratulated for this shift, but that's what makes it permanent. Don't chase that 30-second clarity again. Don't force it. That moment wasn't meant to last. It was meant to mark. That was your signal. A timeline opened beneath your feet, and no one else saw it, but you did. And now, even if everything appears the same, something within has shifted. Everything is different. If you're still here, thank you for staying with me. If this resonated with you and you'd like to see more, consider hitting that subscribe button. Your support truly means a lot. I'd love to hear your thoughts or personal experiences in the comments below. Until next time, take care, and don't forget to subscribe for more thoughtful and inspiring content.